Now we are good to go. So, a very enthusiastic, full of evening to all the people who have joined in for the guidance talk today. With very talented, determined, and self-established person we have with us today. So please welcome with flood of emoticons on the chat box, Miss Moshimi Paul.
Thank you so much.
A very My name is Akanksha Yadav. I'm serving as a cornerstone for today's guidance talk. Would like to extend the warm welcome on behalf of the entire team of student organization StudNet under the aegis of the Division of Students Welfare, Lovely Professional University. So, people, you all have the question in the mind that what is this guidance talk is all about, and what is it? So, with the same answer, I would like to tell all the people that to pour these students with technical, cognitive, and linguistic skills, which is a key requirement for better career. Keeping this motive in mind, student organization StudNet has come up with a series of guidance talk and webinars with dignitaries who have mastered one of the skills required for your dream career and can guide you accordingly. Till the time we have five of the guidance talks session with great dignitaries, and this will be our sixth one with Miss Moshmi Paul. Coming back to my talk, I would like to tell the audience that today we are interacting with Ms. Moshmi Paul, and she is a self taught graphic designer, illustrator, and ex public relations professional. Today, we take the guidance and learning from her that how much the life throws stones on you, or you are crushed by difficulties. But like her, we should never give up. So, ma'am, I would like the very first question for you is we all would like to hear what a little introduction from your side.
Thank you, Akansha, for such a warm and I never got an introduction like this before. Thank you so much. And second of all, again, thank you, Lovely Professional University, for considering me for the guidance talk. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I'm really overwhelmed with this opportunity to talk to all of you. And yeah, coming to me, hi, my name is Moshmi Paul. I'm from Ranchi. Basically, right now I'm based out of Bangalore. Um, I am a graphic designer currently. Previously, I used to be a PR professional, which is basically a public relations, and I have been my career trajectory till now. It's like almost like 2.5 year, and in this 2.5 year, I have seen a lot of ups and downs. And from PR professional to right now being a graphic designer, it's a amazing journey. Uh, uh, coming to my education background, I am an English literature student. I have graduated as an English literature student. So from English literature student to being a PR to graphic designing, it's like a whole topsy-turvy world for me right now. So currently, I'm an independent designer. I help startups with their creative needs. Uh, Plus, I also work with big companies. Previously, I worked with Puma, and currently also I'm working with a lot of coming up startups. So yeah, that's the story for now. Let's head with all the questions that you guys have for me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was wonderful listening to your introduction. You come into one field, you left that field and tried for the another thing. That
Yeah.
was damn interesting. And I should say, all the people who have joined in for the session would love the things are going this way, that way. So let's see. Let's go in for the questions. So, ma'am, why graphic designer? You were before you were an professional for the PR, then you chose graphic designing. Why not any other field? You must be having the passion before also, or it's a lit up interest.
So, coming back to, I'll start off with my childhood story, which is like I belong to a Bengali family, and basically in Bengali families, every kid is supposed to have one hobby. And my mother and my father, they both pushed me and my brother towards drawing. So almost for a decade, we studied drawing as a hobby, as a like something to just fulfill that art need. Uh, Cut to college days when I was like preparing for NID, but unfortunately something happened and I couldn't go to NID. And then when I started off my career in 2019, I my second job was an internship with Puma, and over there I was closely working with the marketing team, where there was this group of people who were designing, those creative things. It was so colorful, it was so bright. And basically, I went to Puma as a communication intern. I was not at all a graphic designer that time. I didn't even knew there's something that like graphic designer that exists. So back in college days, all we knew, the disciplines that were there in designing was basically, your fashion designing or maybe animation. Those were the disciplines we were like very accustomed to listen hear from our peers, but we never heard about graphic designing, especially in a small town like Rachi. It was not known at all. Cut to 2019, I was working with Puma as a corporate communication intern, and working with the marketing team. I saw there's this group of people who were invested in designing, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. So from there, that that thought carried on in my subconscious mind that uh, I can do this. Like, this can be like something that I am interested in. This is something that interests me. This is something that I love to do. And cut to 2020 when the pandemic hit. I was still working as a PR professional till mid-April 2020. I thought of taking a break, and I gave myself almost like 2 or 3 months to seep into this education field, like before, because we still have that thought process that if we want to change a career, we still have to go through the education process. We can't teach ourselves just by watching videos, and we need to go through a proper study to even switch our career. I thought of educating myself. I watched a lot of YouTube tutorials, and I thought, okay, fine, I think I can do this. So that experience with Puma really helped me to unlock this channel where I thought, okay, graphic designing is my calling. So that's how that happened.
Okay, so I should say that you were having little bit not like you were you have the blend of canvas paintings and all things that totally blended you into the graphic designing
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
Okay, it was really great. Then I came like you had written one of the article in Quora, and
yeah.
I got to know that thing. So you mentioned there that when you were facing the difficulties at that time when you were like switching on to some other career, so at that time one of your friend helped you a lot. So I just want to know that how you collected that strength to spill out all your tensions to someone, because generally people don't used to speak to anyone. So what do you like to say to those people, that it is good to share your tensions with someone or not?
It's definitely good to let it out in around you, because till the time you keep it till yourself, uh, even if you think it's just in your head, that you think that there's nobody to help me, but you don't know until unless you let it out. You have to burst in front of people, maybe not entirely. Take your time, just little bit you can just give them some, drop them some hint, and you have to open up in front of other people. Because I'll tell you why. This friend who helped me, uh, I was friend with him since my college days. I passed out in 2015, and like we were friends for such a long time. And I never spoke to him about this situation where I'm like, I feel like I'm depressed, I'm stuck, and I want to get out of the situation. I never spoke about it. But it was like one day when I told him that, see, I really think I need to get out of this place. I need to explore something new. I need to get to a better place where from where I am right now. So that happened way, way, way later. Like, it took me almost 5 to 6 months 6 years to open up to that friend as well. I knew him since my college days, and I never opened up to him. And that that very moment, I thought, okay, fine, if I could have opened up to this guy or any other friend of mine or even my parents, uh, if I could have opened up to anybody, maybe somebody would have been able to help me out way before. I would have not, wasted my years after year just thinking that there is nobody to help me at all. So it is very, very important. I know trust issue is the major, major thing that we all face. We can't trust anybody, not even our parents, not even our siblings. But I think you need to take that one step, that one chance. Uh, just try to drop hints. And if you think that somebody is picking up on those hints, try to open up. You never know, maybe that other friend is not able to help you, but through him or her you can get some other connection who will be able to help you out. Maybe your siblings can also help you, your parents also can help you, not to the extent that we want them to help us, but maybe to the extent where they can connect you with some other person, the third person, who will be able to help you out. So opening up is very, very, very important. But again, be very careful in front of whom you're opening up. And there is no harm if you think that somebody has, betrayed your trust. No issues. But at least you'll know that, okay, whatever you're saying, people are listening to that. I think that's very, really important.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. We all love to be introvert, but at some point of time, or like when we are dealing with some difficulties, we have to speak to someone. So now the next question is, as we all know that lockdown brought for all, the lockdown is a big tension, but I guess it didn't seem that bad for you, because
Mhm.
let me tell the audience that Miss Moshimi is a self-learned graphic designer, and whatever she did, she just like she know this strength at the time of lockdown only. So, ma'am, I want to know that how you made these things done by alone. Like these software, up to my understanding, I know a little bit of them. So, these softwares are very, very hard, very, very complex. Even we cannot take the eraser and rub it out if we had drawn something bad. So, how you manage that alone? How you learn that alone?
Let me like put it in this way. The starting 3 months that I gave myself, I wanted to educate myself regarding the softwares that I'm going to interact with, the usability of the interfaces and whatever designs I'm going to create. I watched for like 3 months. I educated myself. I watched YouTube videos like left, right, and center. I didn't even go for any online courses because I knew I was so lazy. Like I can procrastinate like anything. Like that's the biggest default with our Gen Z genes, that we can, procrastinate till the day we think that, we can survive without doing anything. So I just watched YouTube videos. I wanted to get into that set of mind where I was preparing myself being a designer, to get into that set of mind that yes, you are no more a PR professional, you are a designer now. You have to think like them, you have to look at things in that way, you have to see, you have to make yourself in that kind of a situation where you feel like a designer. The moment you start doing that, and I watched so many YouTube videos regarding like how to use the interface and everything, and at that point of time I didn't had a proper system. My system was almost like 8 or 10 years old, which I actually borrowed from one of my friend. Thankfully, I'm blessed to have such good friends. So I borrowed from her, and I was practicing in that. And I'll tell you, my first illustration that I created in Adobe Illustrator, it took me 6 hours to create that. And now if I sit down and I try to create that, it will max to max take me 10 to 6 minutes. So the journey from 6 hours to 6 minutes, within, like, I covered that entire journey within a year. and I used some shortcuts which worked for me. For example, I didn't had a system, like a proper system, so I went for a unpaid internship where I was given this professional system where I could practice, and I can create creatives, which gave me, uh, a new world altogether, because there were other designer friends, like colleagues were there, and everybody was so happy to help. I used to struggle with Photoshop a lot, and trust me, now I can create anything in Photoshop. So uh, I lost my, like, I couldn't sleep the first time when I used Adobe After Effects. I was trying to create something. I couldn't sleep because of the excitement and every, like, when you're passionate about something, there is a drive within you. You want to do it. And the very next day I reached office sharp at 9 o'clock, and I completed that. Like within 2 days I learned how to uh, work in After Effects. And when I was creating that, I was following one of the YouTube tutorials, and I was like, every step I was just like matching. Oh, did I press the same key again, or did he do something else? So it was such a back and forth. And that journey from 6 hours to 6 minutes, I think I'll say I still need a lot of practice. But now when I am introduced with all of you, like you guys are asking me to give some guidance talk, I think I might have achieved something good. That's why I'm here.
I
I
should
hope
say
that.
determination level 100.
Yeah.
This is this is giving the liveness of the core that determination is the key to success, and
Yeah.
that's what Moshmi ma'am has taken up.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so moving on to the next question, as I already read about in the Quora article, that it took 2 years to overcome your past experience and the struggle and whatever depression that you have faced. So my question is that it wait who and what are your greatest strength at that time when you were struggling for the difficulties, when you were depressed, that was pushing you towards the shine, and what all difficulties you face and how you overcome that.
um So now, when I look back and I see that, there were some challenges, because I am more of an ambivert person. I like to talk to people, but then there are times when I get really intimidated with people and I don't like talking to them. But when you are working somewhere, you have to uh, take that step, and you have to communicate with other people, because you can't say that, oh, I'm not somebody who don't want to talk. Because if you are in a communication field, you have to communicate with people, you have to be loud and clear with your messaging. So it was very difficult for me, because I was somebody who ended, like, the duration that I spent at home, back home, like almost 2 years, I was stuck at my home. I didn't do anything. And I lost that communication touch. I felt difficulties when I have to, even say that what I want, what I need. So at that point of time, what I used to do is, even if I have to make a communication with anyone, I used to write it down in a diary. I used to record what I'm saying. That's how I used to, cope up with that situation, because it's very easy for people to take you as somebody uh, who is being offensive with his words or her words. But with my case, I used to be so scared for, like, even to open up my mouth. So what I used to do, I used to listen to my seniors. I used to listen to my friends who has been in this industry for such a long time. I used to try to listen to them instead of just going to them with my problems. I used to just listen to, like, the kind of office issues that they used to have, and how they used to to deal with it. I used to just observe them and I used to listen to them. And I used to imply that in my life. Unfortunately, in some places, it didn't work for me. Uh, but my biggest strength at that point of time was the motivation that I used to give to myself, that there will be a better day. There will be a day when I'll just look at these all experiences and I'll be able to help somebody else who needs such, insights when they face something like this. Which I think I am somewhere able to do it with my other friends. Also, another biggest strength for me was my friend circle. That's why I'm saying, like, guys, please open up to people you think, even if they are not able to help you, they'll try to find a solution for you. Or maybe they'll try to connect you with somebody who will be able to help you out. So your friend circles, maybe you might think that it's a very small circle. Trust me, I just have 3 or 4 friends. That's it. And they are my backbone and they help me a lot, because there are a lot of issues that you can't go back to your parents with, and you definitely know that they are not going to understand. You have to educate them to even make them understand that what situation you're going through. But your friends are also facing the same situations. Ask them for help. If you don't get it there, there are so many other ways where you can seek mentorship. So for me, I think my friends circles helped me a lot. They were my backbone. They are still my backbone. Obviously family is there, but when it comes down to something like this, you can't open up to your family. It's always come down boils down to your friends. And again, you have to help yourself. If you don't have that drive that you need to be in a better place, no wonder whoever comes to help you, you will always feel like, okay, there is an emptiness. I can't, nobody can fill it. Nobody is there for me. Even if there are people around you who are helping you, if you don't have that drive from your inside that, okay, I need to be in a better place, it's not going to help. So I hope that answers your question.
Exactly. I hope, ma'am, the day had already come when you are like your experience is giving life to someone else. So this is the very big achievement that you are having right now,
Thank you so
and
much.
all your difficulties are over now.
I
So
hope so. I think this process of learning, keep learning. Even if you're having a bad day, there will be some lesson, out of it. Just for example, if you have something, for example, you're cooking something today, okay? Uh, Maybe you have poured much, like, more water into it, or you might have kept it too many, like, too many spices are into it. For the first time you might have make one mistake. You will learn something out of it, but next time when you try something out of it, I'm definitely sure you'll do better. So I think just keep practicing, keep trying, and you'll keep learning and you'll keep implying it in your life.
exactly, the hope that you had in you that there will be better days is the only thing that had brought you here today.
Yes,
So
thank
next,
you.
we are moving with the next question. That is, as we all know that you switched your career. So can you please guide us? What are the essential things that one should keep in mind and steps we should take when we are thinking of once we are thinking of to switch the career?
Okay, so if you guys are already, studying something, there's a career ahead of you, which is a set plan. It's a set path for you, for which you are studying right now. But if you are planning that you have a passion and you want to follow that passion, my only suggestion will be, whatever you're studying right now, continue with that. But for your passion that you want to follow, the field that you want to follow, do a thorough research. Because even if you want to go back to your parents and say that this is what I want to follow, this is what I want to do for future, they need proof that whatever you are suggesting them, or even if you're coming up with your own passion in front of them, they need proof that you're serious about it. What worked for me is I gave myself time. I gave 3 months to me uh, to learn and get fully, uh, immer- immersed in this entire designing thing. I used to start my morning at 6 o'clock. I used to start watching YouTube videos, the tutorials, the guidance talks, uh, and I used to read articles. I used to go through all the designs that the designers post and several other platforms. So what worked for me is, obviously there is a discipline. There is a groundwork that I did, basic knowledge, and obviously passion is there, but there is a lot of things that drive that passion. You have to be very very particular about which subject you are choosing and how you're going to deal with the learning process, where all you can imply those knowledge that you're gaining right now, whether it be through online classes or by yourself, anything. You have to be very very thorough with your groundwork whenever you are switching your career, because if you just, you know you just happen to, I just want to switch to this because, okay, so I'll say, I also tried my hands in mass communication. I watched Ye Jawani Hai Diwani during my college days, and I wanted to become a travel journalist. Unfortunately, at that point of time, I didn't had much access to, internet like we do today, and I fell bottom flat. I I went to IMC for my, interviews, and I wasn't able to crack it because in my head I was not clear. I was just following that one picture or the visual identity that some character played on the screen, and I just wanted to be that person. But in my head, I was all blank. What that guy even does, I have no idea. I didn't do my ground research at all. So yeah, now, and when it came down to graphic designing, I did my ground research. I followed a pattern. I was disciplined about it. There was determination. So everything together combined will definitely work for you.
Exactly. I agree with you. We should not follow the crowd. We should go by our interest. We should first research onto the things and then put your leg in any of the field, whatever you desired.
Yeah.
Okay, so, ma'am, before we have this session, we want the people to go with the one of the form, and in that form we have questions. And so the questions from the people are, the first question is how to start something for which we feel desperately but not able to do because of lack of activeness.
Um, how about starting off with the, okay, so if you have a huge goal, you have to cut it down in small bite size. You can't eat entire. If I give an example of a roti, you can't eat the entire thing together, right? You have bite size. You have small bite size. Even if you're feeling inactive and but you want to pursue something, I think start really small. Uh, Maybe one step at a time. Uh, for every day, just spend 1 hour doing research work, or even practicing that uh, passion that you have. It can be photography, it can be cooking, it can be anything. Try practicing, because theory knowledge is good until and unless you start practicing. The moment you get into the practical field, it will take you get to know, okay, the things that worked for this YouTube tutorial didn't work for me. So you will have I, your own knowledge. You will be able to use your own knowledge along with what you have seen and you have read. So practicing every day. You don't need to practice even for an hour. Maybe 15 minutes or 5 minutes. Start making Maggie if you want to start cooking. Start with the boiling, everything. Just start off very little, and you'll start seeing that even if you were feeling inactive about something that you wanted to pursue, you'll start feeling that, okay, fine, there is something that you have achieved. There has to be like set goals where you can put your achievements in place, and you'll feel okay, fine, I have started from nothing. Now at least I know this much. Let's give some more time to this. Let's see how far I can reach. So set goals and start with little, bite size. I think that works really well, instead of setting up a huge goal and feeling like, oh, this is so huge, I might not be able to do it in a day or in a month. Nothing happens in a month or in a day. You have to keep practicing every day. Even 15 minutes work in that case. So just keep doing that. And I'm pretty sure one day you'll feel you started from nothing, and at least you have reached somewhere. I hope.
Exactly. We should never like think and think. We should start onto the
Yeah.
things at
So
least a bit.
overthinking, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry in cutting between. Uh, so basically, every challenge that you have in front of you is all in your head. Your head will tell you that you're good for nothing. Your head will tell you that you can't achieve this. Your head will tell you that nobody loves you, nobody's here to listen to you. Trust me, it's all in your head. The moment you start putting it practically on the paper, or the moment you start practicing it, you'll see that it's not that difficult. It's just in your head. That's it.
exactly. I request the audience too, if they have any questions, they can put the question in the chat box. We will take the questions from the chat box too. So the next question is how and where to start the career in the graphic designing or the interest in the graphic designing, and what are the tools required?
Okay, so in graphic designing, I'll suggest, if you are starting off as somebody who knows nothing about graphic designing, it could be a bit intimidating, especially the softwares that we use to design. They are pretty. The interface itself is pretty intimidating. So how I started off is I didn't have the software initially. So what I used to do is Adobe actually give you this access for 7 days free trial. And what I used to do is I used to ask my friends to give their email ID, and every week, like within the 7 days duration, I used to change that email ID so that I can have the access to Adobe Illustrator for a long time. Not just Illustrator, it includes Photoshop and a few more softwares. So that's how I used Adobe for almost like 2 months. I don't know whether it still happens or not. I hope you guys don't get into so much work. You can easily get the crack versions of, Adobe, especially if you want to start off with Illustrator and Photoshop. You can easily get the crack versions, and it won't cost you much. Start with the interface, then look for YouTube tutorials. I'll say go for the basics. Try to learn the tools. There are so many tools in Illustrator itself, and try to explore all the tools. You will get to know that, oh, there are so many possibilities to create the same creative in at least 4 to 5 different ways. That is there. Apart from that, I'll suggest there are few um, websites which you can follow. For example, there is Behance, there is Dribble, there is obviously Instagram is there. So these are few places where you can actually look up to others design, and you can get inspired, and you can, because that will be your set standard. You see international design, you see there are so many tutorials in Behance itself. They have live sessions also in there. So when you check, you go through those tutorials, you see there is so many possibilities over there. And I think that will definitely motivate you to start with your initial work. And when you get into that zone as a designer, I think it won't be much difficult for you to start posting your work and start getting calls from other people to join you as a designer.
Great. I totally agree. We are living in 2022, and today we
Yeah.
can learn anything from the YouTube. But we should have the determination within us that we have to do that work, and we have to do that daily. So the next question is how to overcome introvertness and be friendly with someone?
Oh, I need that answer for myself because I still struggle. I have two faces. When I go to office, when I meet my clients, when I see my you know the professional version, the colleagues and everybody, trust me, I keep it as low profile as possible because I still don't know how to talk to them. Another reason why I got into graphic designing is because you don't have to talk much to other people. There is somebody who's coordinating in between the client and the designer, and they are actually helping you to get the creatives done. Uh, so yeah, another pros of getting into graphic designing is that you don't need to talk to other people much. So uh, the second, I think. It will build up on you. If you want to make friends, you don't need to push yourself. Just if you get that vibe, okay, this is the person I am spending my time with, and they are pretty cool, pretty chill out, and your mentality and your state of mind somewhere, the thought processes that you have somewhere matches with this other person, you will instantly, you'll bond. You don't need to push yourself to be friend with somebody. If that is going to happen, then don't need to be friend with that person at all. Just keep your distance. It will happen eventually. You don't need to push yourself to be with anyone if you have to put that much effort into it. So even if you are without friends, no issues. There are so many options of just be busy with your passion, be busy with your studies, be busy with exploring. So many things are there to learn. I think eventually you'll come across other people who have similar likes like you, and you can definitely, bond with those people, and it will elevate your, set of understanding and dealing with situations.
Exactly. If the vibe will meet, you will definitely came forward to say hello or anything.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, we have one question from Mayank Sharma, and he's asking, who is your motivation or guide which helped you to choose this domain, the graphic designing domain?
Um, I follow a few Instagrammers, and there's this one called Ankita Chawla. She goes with the name Hustler Rani, and I really look up to really like people who are my age or somewhat bit elder to me. I look up to their designs. I think what I get to learn from them is the thought process that they have gone through. I remember this one designer, and he used to be a coder. He always wanted to get into a design. He wanted to get into designing. He wanted to be a designer, but his family's financial condition was not that great. So he got into coding. He learned coding. He worked as a coder for almost like 5 6 years. Then he also learned how to design using coding, and then he ended up creating his own studio, and now he's an international designer. So I think stories like this really inspires me. And frankly telling, if you actually pick up the ratio of people who are self-taught designer, the ratio is like it's too big. Maybe like 60 70% people who are into designing field are all self-taught designers. So it always, I think, the self motivation, and you look up to so many designers and their work. I particularly can't pinpoint to one designer because it's a collective of designers and designs that inspires me. Someone's story inspires me, someone's journey inspires me, someone's work inspires me, the thought process behind the work inspires me. So it's a collective inspiration which is which motivates me to still keep doing my work, keep enjoying my work. Plus the incredible thought process that I have a tendency of overthinking everything. So to calm that down, also I have to keep working so that I stop thinking. I just look up to people with all these traits to keep inspiring me.
Oh my God, that coding and then maintaining the graphic designing, it was quite relatable to me too.
Yeah.
But I should say that you are going wherever, like choose whatever career you want. But if your heart and your interest in something else, you will definitely achieve that
Yeah.
by determination.
So
So,
just imagine, like,
Mayim,
I'm so sorry I'm
yeah,
cutting between. I started off as a English literature student. I ended up being a PR. Then I am a designer. You never know. Maybe in next 1 or 2 years I'll start coding as well. But I'm not going to lose on graphic designing. I would like to. I would love to learn coding because I'm a UI designer as well. So I want to understand the back end, the techniques that's used, because being a designer I can design anything, but when it goes to the back end designers, they know it's going to be difficult for them. So I want to understand that thought process as well. So there is no stop for learning. If you have the curiosity and if you have the hunger to learn more, you'll definitely find a way to get into that. It's There is no set rule anymore. Like, there is no set path, no set rule. If you want to learn anything, it's all out there.
exactly. Respected Sundar Pichai had taken the metallurgy, and now he's the CEO of the
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
thing. Though, then it's amazing that we can go anywhere if our interest lies there.
Yeah,
So I should say, Mayank, you got your answer.
I hope
So the
so.
next question is how to get a confidence on oneself while working on something alone.
Okay, keep a track. I do one thing is, like, every morning, the first thing that I do when I sit down to work, I make a to-do list. Okay. It's like goals and tasks that I set for myself every day. It can be anything. It can be regarding, reading an article, reading a book, reading the newspaper, completing one of my clients' work, completing some tutorials that I was watching, trying on new, softwares. If you want to keep self motivating yourself, you have to keep a track where you started from. I still have my last year's diary when I started, not just last year, from the time when I actually started off with this entire graphic designing journey. I used to write down what I need to do every day. And when I look back now and I see what all I did all by myself, I think, okay, I have like, this is like gold. Like, this is gold. I never knew that that simple entry will help me in future so much, to keep me on track, that where I started from and where I am right now. So if you are working by yourself, just keep a notebook, write your to-do list, write a list of things and tasks that you need to complete every day. Trust me, that helps a lot. Even if you have some thoughts regarding something, just write it down. It helps a lot. Specifically, when it comes down to, you have to self motivate yourself, because we all are working from home and we are studying from home. Even if we have to get into some other career field, we are doing our research sitting at home. It's everything from home. All our attention is towards our screen. We look nowhere else apart from our screen, so we are living in a screen age world. So if you want to self motivate yourself, set goals, write it down every day, make your targets every day. Even if you're not achieving them that very day, don't keep like too many targets. Keep like maybe max to max, start with like 4 or 5. You'll see there will be a definite improvement. If you keep yourself in a disciplined manner, in a track, you'll definitely see there is a change. And you, if you are engrossed with your own work, with your own passion, with your own, all the studying that you need, I don't think so you'll need much people around you when you're doing that, when you're going through that process. You will need that, zen mode. You need to go into that zen mode, because when you go to that zen mode, only then you are able to focus more into what you are investing so much time on. So yeah. I think that,
Exactly. Making goal and the to-do list is the best thing that we can do to be focused on something. Because if we are not making the targets, we are not achieving them, and we don't have that thing that we have to do this thing. And that
yeah.
happiness, we are not coming up with that happiness that we had done this thing. So we have to make the to-do list. So I request the audience, if they have any questions and want to interact with ma'am, they can unmute themselves, or either they can put the questions in the chat box too. Moving on to the next question, as we hear that people changes with time. So is it good thing to trust someone or not? Is it good thing to share things with someone whom we think we are close with?
I when It's again a difficult question. I think I'm not the kind of person, and with the kind of experience that I have, I'm still too young to answer this question. But from my experience, I'll just say that even if you trusted somebody and you opened up to someone, uh, and that person actually kind of betrayed you, no harm. You learn from it. Next time, you'll be more careful to, like, to which extent you want to share whatever you want to share. So just let loose yourself. We are too young now to, even to think like, okay, fine, whether we should trust this guy or that guy, or we should trust this girl with whatever we have in our head. With no issues. Even if you have trusted somebody, you have said something out loud, even if that person betrayed you, I think there's no harm in giving that shot. Like, you'll be learning more. Like, you'll know how much to share with somebody, how much not to share with somebody. And I don't find there is any harm, even if you trust somebody and say something, and there is no harm. Just keep practicing. You'll start getting that, knowledge by yourself, like what are the patterns, how we should, interact with other person, how much we should share. Just don't close up yourself. Even if you're meeting someone for the first time, don't open up too much, or don't just close up yourself. Be somewhere in the middle. And I think you'll find a balance eventually with time, like how much to share and what to share and what not to share. So yeah, I hope I'm like, this is a very neutral answer. There is no proper answer for this from my side, at least for now.
Exactly. We have to take the risk. If risk lies, there is life. Actually, we have to open with people. Up till now, like if there lies the good people, then take them away, take them with you. And if bad comes, take the learning from them. That's the
Yeah,
thing that.
exactly. If you even if you meet, nobody is good or bad. They are all dealing with something. Uh, they also might have faced few situations which you might have never faced. They come with a lot of experience. Plus, they also come up with a lot of wisdom with themselves. When you're meeting elder people or people who have more experience, they come with a lot of wisdom, with a lot of knowledge with them. If they have ever treated you badly, try to take out the good things out of it. Try to think about the things that you have learned from that situation. Learn from when you were interacting with them, how they interact with other people. Learn something out of that. Someone, if you, because I know everybody is going to, very very soon, you all are going to step into the corporate world. You all gonna start with working. So don't hesitate before, approaching somebody. Keep in mind that if you feel right now, if you are feeling like, oh, I'm nowhere close to that person to even talk, just try to make that first step. Break the ice, make the communication hi hello simple. It works. Learn from them. Someone might be good at, talking, someone will be good at, dressing, someone will be good with communication when it comes down to dealing with other colleagues. Just learn those things, because we don't get to, our institutes, like our school, our college never teaches us these soft skills. Neither we get to learn these soft skills from our home. Also, there's a difference how we treat our friends, and different, like how we treat our colleagues, how we, act in front of our colleagues. So try to learn all those things, because someday you'll need every bit of it, because you will be in a position where people will look up to you. They will look up to you, and they would like you to share that knowledge with them. So learn all these things. It never goes for, it never gets wasted. Always keep learning. Observe other people, take in all the good stuffs. So there's nothing negative. The moment you start putting it in your head that, oh, this person is bad, I have to keep my distance, keep your distance. But never, you know, disconnect yourself from them. Never stop that communication. Even if you have to say hi, hello, even if you have to go out with them, do that. They might be good at 10 other things. So definitely, I think never close up yourself from opportunities.
Exactly. We have one question from Pranjit Bhalla. How did your introvertness affect your PR job?
Oh, it affected me big time. Oh God, oh God. It was so bad. My first job, I worked there for like 1.5 months, something like that. I used to get yelled at because I was such an introvert. Plus, recently I discovered that I also have ADHD, and I was like, I used to be so confused in my head that, oh, there is so much information. At that point of time, I used to not make notes. I used to think like, okay, fine, they have said something. I'll keep a, mentally, I'll keep a note. Trust me, that never happened. I got scolded like left, right, and center, and that kept happening for the entire month. I got grilled so badly. I used to fumble when I used to, talk to journalists, because a huge part of corporate communication or PR is you have to speak to your journalist. And when you speak to your journalist, they need to know like what you are coming to them with, like what are the questions that you want to ask them, what are you providing them. um, and they used to ask me questions, and I used to be like, please somebody take away this call from me and please help me with this. And what I used to do, I used to spend at least 10 minutes before any call to any journalist. I used to record myself, I used to talk to myself, and I used to discuss it with myself only, and I used to record it, and I used to play it, and I used to hear like how am I sounding, am I sounding confident, am I sounding, somebody who is just a newbie into it. I used to practice like hell. Like every day was such a struggle for me, because I have to face people. And also like I wanted people to just leave me alone. If even if I'm doing a call to a journalist, or if I'm talking to a client, I just I think that was the difficult part for me, being an introvert, and like talking to other people, asking them to get my articles published in the the newspapers and the channels, was the difficult part. It was the most difficult part for me. A lot of people might find it very easy, but for some people it was difficult, and I come in that, tiny ratio. I come in that ratio. I still find it difficult, but I think from 2019 till now, I have made huge, uh, uh, changes, and that's why maybe I'm sitting here and giving you guys this talk. Trust me, if you would have met me back in 2019, this talk would have never happened. I would have just asked somebody to speak on my behalf, and that's how this entire talk would have gone. But you see the confidence that I have built from past 2 years, and if I can do it, anybody can do it. Don't worry. I think it's a cakewalk. You just need to have that confidence. You just have to build that. Don't be too confident. Just be somewhere in the middle, and I think you'll crack anything that you have in your head.
just start like Moshmi ma'am did. I should say this is the one thing that everyone should learn. So, Pranjal Bhala, I hope your question is totally clear.
Thank you.
So, as the we had started around 5 and we are coming to an end, the questions are totally end. I request the people joined as an audience. If they have any of the questions, they can post their questions in the chat box, or they can unmute themselves and interact with the Moshmi ma'am too.
This was really very motivating, ma'am, for me. Seriously, the whole storytelling part is something that really makes me confident in anything because it just drives the whole attention. So here are my some key takeaways from you that one thing is that during the whole journey, you never means you just go on that, take that risk and go for it so that we don't regret it afterwards. That is something I really learned because that's really very important. So in the audience, anybody have some key takeaways, we can mention in the chat box, and even you can open your mic to interact.
Exactly. Even I learned many things from her, and today's session was really like motivation for us. And she had gone through all these things, and we came up with the liveliness of those things. So, if anyone had taken any of the key points, so please mention them in the chat box, or you can interact with the ma'am too. Ma'am, your concluding words, like you want to say to these people, any advices or anything, you can go
Uh,
on.
uh, I think I'm still too it's too early for me to give you any those sort of guidance talks where you end up with some conclusions. Uh, because I'm still figuring out a lot of things by myself. I still need to, I have that hunger where I need to fulfill my hunger and curiosity, because of which I'm still working day and night, and I'm still exploring a lot of new things. Maybe today I came here as a graphic designer. Maybe 2 or 3 years later, I might come over here as a business enterprise or something else. So you never know. So I say there is so much opportunity around you. Don't think that you can't do anything, you can't achieve anything just because you are not going through a institute, or if you think that there is a financial crunch, anything. Just look around. You'll find a way to reach to your goal. Even if you want to follow your passion, you'll always, if you keep seeking something, right, you'll definitely get a way somewhere, or the either you'll just find that way uh, to reach till your goal. And don't worry, people will come during this entire journey. People will come, people will go, but who has to stay, they will stay. And nothing can stop you from achieving what you want. It's just all in your head. When somebody says that you can't do this, you can't do that, just look around you. Nobody will ever tell you that you can't go there, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't wake up in the morning, you can't wake up early in the morning. It's all up to you. You have to discipline yourself. You have to pick up targets. You have to meet those targets. And if you continue doing that, if you continue polishing yourself, I don't think so there is anything that can stop you from you know reaching where you want to reach, or even to see something that visualize yourself in a place. I would
Exactly.
like to share my Behance profile if anybody wants to take a look at my work, so that you I don't know how much it might inspire you guys. So wait a minute.
Ma'am, you can share the link in the chat box so that
Yeah,
these
yeah,
people
yeah.
can.
I am just trying to copy that link. So I'm sharing
Okay.
my Behance link with you guys. If you want to just take a look at my work, if you feel some time to reach out to me through work, or if you want some other guidance regarding, designing, reach out. Feel free to do that. I'll be happy to help in whatever way I can help you out.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So Mayank Sharma has a key takeaway point, that is never have a setback, always have a comeback. So
Wow, I'm going
very
to
great.
use that. Thank you, Mayank.
Okay, so we are concluding. This session was really amazing with you, Moshmi ma'am. We all learned a lot many things and also understand that if it is life, we all have to deal with curves of life. But the life is lived with only who accepts those curves and challenge the life with their success. So,
Thank
last
you.
but not the least, I want to conclude the session with my self written, short and crisp Hindi poetry words. So, this is for all those who once said to themselves, I'm tired of doing and walking in life. I'll say once, I'll say once say this to yourself. तो क्या हुआ ढला दिन है आज रोशनी को आवाज लगाऊंगा अपनी मेहनत से हर कामयाबी को अब मैं पास बुलाऊंगा अंधेरों में चिराग जलाऊंगा आग से तप कर अब मैं सोना बनकर दिखाऊंगा और हर मुश्किल में लड़कर अब जीत को हासिल करके मैं दिखाऊंगा. So
Wow.
for all these people, always say that we will come back and prove by our success. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I really, really appreciate all you guys taking out time. I never knew like this was like the first time when I actually felt like yes, I have reached some place where I'm able to help other people and even to give this talk. Like, I couldn't sleep from past 2 days. I was so excited. Thank you so much for sharing this opportunity with me. Uh, it was lovely talking with all of you, interacting with all of you. I wish you all very best. Whichever field you want to venture into and whatever you want to do, I wish you all the very best and hope we'll meet somewhere career wise again someday, somewhere. Uh, I like to, live on that note.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We all learned a lot from you. Thank you so much for joining in. And I, Akanksha Yadav, officially signing off.
Thank you so much,
You,
guys. Take care and please keep your vaccines. Like, just do that. Keep safe.
sure, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.